Mine don't seem like I got enough light. All right, y'all. I made it, y'all. I made it. I made it. I made it. Oh, I made it. Hey. All right, y'all. Y'all know what to do. I miss y'all. Happy Wellness Wednesday. Y'all know I could not. So for those of y'all that tune in, y'all know that I could not take and not show up for the birthday special. Yes, y'all. I have been gotten good. I'm trying to get my Instagram people on. So you all bear with me. Thank you all so much for your patience. Mother's Day gifts and things are still in the process of being sent out. So thank you all for those who all had that responded. I hope that you all had a beautiful, beautiful time. And congratulations to all of the graduates, my nieces and different ones that's graduated. I said, I got to come back and come back. You all, if you all been wondering what has happened to Dr. Chef again, yeah, it was not planned. Woo! You all, I promise you, this is most definitely the season for me, and I'm sure for plenty others to grow up. Just like y'all see the flowers, my roses out there, they have bloomed. That is what my life seems to represent. That each season something has to change. And so that is the reason why I wasn't before you all for the past 2 weeks. A lot caught me off guard again, and I'm not giving up, y'all, because it's just it's to me it's no different than a flower being a flower. So yes, today is my birthday. I have made it to 48. 48. And y'all, I promise you all, I'm gonna tell you why it's such a beautiful thing. But I'm gonna make sure that I give a few more of you all time to come in, and I'm gonna make sure I start off with a prayer. I'm not gonna get so excited and so caught up to where I forget to. And then I'm gonna put my Instagram live people on because I didn't get a chance to prep that. And then I'm gonna bring you all up to speed on what's all been going on. And part of this is my story that I'm going to take. Who knows? I may be on TED Talk one day, y'all, because it's my story, and I believe that it would help inspire and encourage somebody not to give up, and that is important when life changes come to shift you. Sometimes you all, it's not a bad thing. It just looks like it because we get an ideal of what life should be. And we think that every commitment that's made, we tend to think that every decision that's made will stay just like that. And it can sometimes when it only includes you or moi, but not when it includes other people that have to make decisions too. And so that is something that was shared with me that I wanted to share with you all. I'm trying to get our Instagram people on so they don't feel like I forgot about them, because you all have been faithful. And so I'm going to try one more time, and then we're going to go into a simple but much needed prayer, because I'm just so thankful to see my 48. Different ones are saying, make sure, Dr. Chef, you put in your Cash App enough time. All of my gifts and proceeds go straight to what I'm doing here with the health and wellness products. No, my things have not come through yet, but it's okay. I realized that even through that, the adversary didn't even want that to come through. But I was always led to believe that if at first you don't succeed, you dust yourself out and you do it again. Don't try it again. Do it again. And so that is the spirit that my mother has left with me. And so I'm saying happy birthday to my mother, because the birth part she did. By the grace of God, she birthed me into this world. I've shared this several times with you all. My mother had me at 15 years young, even though she was the oldest of 8. And the same for my grandmother, and the same to my knowledge of my great grandmother. And they were, back then, like I stated at first, that was something that was seemed to have been common among some of them. And there was a village, you all. And so I know that I didn't make it to this age and stage in my life that is still considered young to some, but old to our young people. But my nieces and nephews and my children don't. They know that I'm not short stopping when it comes down to the energy, because a health and wellness, you all, this is the reason why you have to do this. And for some reason, my apology to my Instagram people, we will most definitely download and then send this over. I know sometimes they have questions and they want to say something, so I'm probably going to have to let this one go, because I'm not able to get it for some reason. It's freezing up. And so we're going to try it one more time. I'm going to go live for them. Okay, I think I got it now. I think it's going to connect. Yep, it connected, y'all. So we're going to start them in on a prayer with me as well, too. Hey, Instagram brothers and sisters, I know you guys like, Dr. Shelf, you give me the head up. You all gonna watch it later. And so I want to acknowledge Sister Phoenix. Yes, thank you, Sister Sandra. Hey, brother Rashad. Yes, you all. So I'm going to start off with a prayer. Hey, we got other paradise different ones coming in now. This is my 48th birthday, you all. And yes, I am. I'm going to tell you later on what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you some help pointers of what I've done, because people are saying, you don't look like you your age. I'm like, that's because I'm not an age, and you are not either. That is a term that is overrated, because of the way we have treated our bodies down throughout the years. That saying that we used to have, that black don't crack. First of all, we're not black. However, we are. It's clear that we come from an original source of people that help produce the rest of the world. Let's put it like that. And so, with that being stated, I understand that I'm from a melanated people that have youth. That look, the melanation gave us that energy and that youthfulness that our bodies needed to be able to also heal itself, and to be able to help us to avoid being wrinkled up and things of that nature. The only way that happens if we're not caring for the temple the way we need to. And so now that some of you guys is there, hey, there's this paradise. And so now that Instagram is in now, and my apologies for not being able to give you guys the update, but I'm here. I'm thankful. So we're going to go into a quick prayer, and then we're going to go into it, y'all. All right. Father, we thank you so much for blessing me to be able to come before the people on another Wellness Wednesday. We thank you for blessing me to be able to see another Earth Day and have the mind to want to be able to still share with your people the good news, the good things, inspirational things. We ask that for you to be able to continue to help keep different ones that's traveling about, others that's celebrating. It's a very celebratorial month. So we ask that you keep everybody that's fellowshipping with their friends and families. Thank you for those who have had good accomplishments and graduations and things of that nature. And we ask that you just continue to bless us to be able to go forth and be all that we can be, and serving one another so that we can make this world a better place. In the name of Jesus, we pray. Amen. Okay, now, so here goes, y'all. What is my regimen for youthfulness at 48 young? I tell you, I did something new this time. I do believe in trying something new. I heard one person mention it, Sister Nira. I don't know if she's in the house. Bless her soul. I really do. Oh, God. What got me excited today, even though I'm in the midst of moving, you all. Yeah, it wasn't a plan of mine at all. However, it is something that, even though it's partly forced, I'm still in a place to where I'm just thankful, because you got people that don't have a place to live. You got people that are sitting on the side of the road. And I know I'm here in Missouri. Some of them consider this, the nickname is misery. And I promise you, coming from Illinois, born and raised in Illinois is what they call it. I could see that in different energies. And I was just, something popped up in my feed to where it was showing one of the most, they called it one of the most rudest cities or states in the world. And rest assured, they had Missouri on there. And of course, it's not everywhere, but in a lot of different spots, just like you do in other states who have that. And I'll think to myself, man, how can we be existing? And you may be from, thank you, Sister Star. Hey, Sister Eartha, you made it in. Yes. We're going to be able to get your consultation as well. I said, how do we make it when your environment, because in psychiatry and other counselings and the statistics that people like to go off of, it states that your environment will affect you, and can, if you in a negative or a toxic environment, then it can affect your spirit and who you are as a person. I Guess what? True, you all. This is why I've learned in 48 years that I want to share with you all on Wellness Wednesday. And then I do want to open up, you all. I want to start opening up room for you all that may have some questions. This is what I live for. Never think that you're bogging me down. As you all see, when I have to take a break, I will take a necessary break. If I don't, then I got Sister Queens and I got Brother Kings. Did y'all hear how I said it? Sister Kings, Brother Queen, and Brother Kings that will call in and will be persistent. Dr. Shell. And then some of them just say Queen. Some of them say Felicia Ann. Take a break. Take a break so you can do what you got to do. And to all you all that have done that to me without getting intimidated or thinking that I'm not going to hear the love and the appreciation, I just say, I appreciate you all for that, because I know that that's love. Because when you have a great work like this, and I'm just now getting started on my own with this platform thing, so I know it's not a whole lot of people tune in, but as time go by, as I do more, and as I get more and more consistent, I understand that it can grow, and you never know who that may help. I've watched things myself on here that I realized it had been posted a year or two ago, but it began to be relevant for that day because of something that I might have been some knowledge that I might have wanted to had some questions about that nobody else is talking about, or some information that I needed and I wanted that nobody else was talking about. And it didn't matter that it had been seen a year ago or two calls ago. It mattered that the information was out there. And we are in an informational age and stage. I'm gonna call it the Aquarian age and stage. Call it what you will, but it's clear that it's out here. And I was talking to another very intelligent sister of mine. We're gonna call her Queen D. Queen D. And she was going through nursing school, and she waited to raise the children, and married for 20 plus years, and probably going on 30 now. And she was just saying how tough it was, because she had so much distractions. It seemed like as she's trying to elevate, somebody's trying to, cause her to have to go backwards in her life. And I said, you know what? I realized that that's how life goes. It seems like when you're going up, there's always a gravity. There's always a yin and a yang. It's always that balancing act that we have to have, you all, in order to, it seems like, to help us to learn how to appreciate the upside. How you ever know that you're going up if you never experienced looking down? How to understand what's day? And I've said this before. If there was never a night, how would you know to appreciate seeing if you never lost your sight? How would you know to appreciate somebody talking to you or having a conversation with you if you never experienced somebody not talking to you or communicating with you, or if you lived in silence? How would you know the difference and which one makes you feel? How to choose which one you want to be able to participate in? How would you know the benefits in either one without it being an opposite? How would you know to love and appreciate friendship if you've never had a friend? You can just think about it. And so this, in my 48 years, hey, no, she made it. Yes. And yes, I made it. I had to stop from the move. And yes, I had to stop from moving because this was, it hit me all at once. A few you all know, but not many. And this is part of my shift in my life. I went through this about 5 years ago, out of my office, and it was Wow. When I tell you, I was dealing with some chaotic stuff. And everything from you need to charge more, Dr. Shell. You need to we want you to fix more food, Dr. Shell. Well, and some of them call me Coach Fee, y'all, too. So I'm okay with that. That's a courtesy back to my dad. So thank God for my father for producing the seed. And one of my I'll tell you something. And don't feel bad, you all, if you was considered the black sheep or considered the bad seed coming up. It's all right. You made it to now. And if you want something like this, then I know that means that you're trying to become a better person. So we're not going to do the judging or feel bad about it. But what I'm going to share with you, and somebody said to me this past week, it said, man, you may be the best seed that your parents have produced. Ooh, don't let my brothers and sisters see this. They gonna get me. But some of them are so real and so down to earth. They said, yeah, we agree with that because you big sis. Because I took care of them. Whenever I was able to take care of them, I would take care of them. And they remember me filling in the gap for questions that they had coming up because I'm older than some of my siblings. And I'm sitting up here and I'm thinking about it. And when I thought about it, for a minute, I was like, oh, wow, that's refreshing to know. But then when I thought about it again, I was like, I'm the oldest. That means that if I'm the most mature, if I'm the first, then that means that I'm also the pioneer. And that is what it's been throughout my whole entire life, like it has been for some of you all. And so even though I wanted to just lay down because I got up at 4 a.m. and I knew what I was supposed to do. I knew I was supposed to pray and meditate, but my body just wouldn't rest. I had the glimpse and the thought of remembering when my mother was alive. And for those of you all that know, those who don't, she transitioned on in 2021. And I sit here and I thought about, I said, wow, this is the age and stage. It kept hitting me back and forth that my grandmother passed from an aneurysm. And so did my grandfather. He passed when she was pregnant with her 6th or 7th child from an aneurysm. High blood pressure, you all. And so throughout my family, this is the reason why I'm excited. This is all I need is one. But I have many other reasons that dismisses any trouble, any distractions that's trying to come and trying to, get me to a place. And I had to do the boxing move because my god brother came through here. He's a boxer with Sugar Ray Leonard and him. And so, yeah, I got it in me. And I said, man, it's my turn. I'm the oldest grandchild. I'm the eldest grandchild. It's my turn. I'm 48. I made it, y'all. I made it. I don't know how much time that God will allow me, but I made it. Because see, this throughout my family, that's like they say, you never know what somebody is going through. You never know what their drive is. You never know what keeps them going. But I'm sharing with you all my testimony like I have before. This is my drive. At 48, my grandmother, which was a beautiful woman, but just unhealthy. She cooked too. She stayed in the kitchen. She liked her nice things. We took walks. She laughed a lot. She was a fun, but stern. Don't mess with my furniture. Don't mess with my whatnots. Y'all better be good. Y'all sweep. Y'all clean up behind yourself. But she was a loving grandmother. And I tell you, my defining moment didn't come per se in childhood of wanting to know what's ailing the body, what's causing us to leave here a little sooner than later. Yes, I do believe that, yes, God has our set time for us, that this world that we live in can help speed up the process. But for me, going into that hospital and us traveling, because we were only 2 hours away at that time, me and my mom, my aunties and uncle them all swarming around, and them saying that she's brain dead. And I'm gonna tell you how these things can impact you if you don't allow what's going on in your environment, if you don't allow what's going on with your family that you see as negative, or that is that you see as something just too much to bear, too much stress. Some said, walk up on your grandmother while she's there. And as I looked at her while she's laying there, just looked like she's gone. I could hear my grandmother speaking to me. I was going on 15 at the time. And I looked up real close at her while her body just laid there lifeless. And I could hear her saying, it's in this side of the brain. It's a clot. I need you to remove that clot. I need them to remove the clot. But of course, clearly there was not a skilled enough neurologist on staff at that time that could utilize what they had now. Y'all, that was back in 1990 that my grandmother had passed. And I'm looking and I'm like, and I want to be able to explain to them, but I didn't have the knowledge that I have now that, hey, they need to perform surgery right now. So there is a use when you've damaged the body that certain surgeons have to be able to help free the body up. Now, yeah, if it had happened, God, made me think clear, she still probably would have been on medication. She might have been handicapped because it could have struck a nerve or some part of the brain that could have left her paralyzed. And so I'm going through examining all of this at this time. At this time, I'm not taking nursing classes. I'm not taking any health occupation classes. But in my mind, I'm sitting here thinking, when I grow up, I want to be able to help bring somebody out of a coma. I hope that I have some knowledge. And yes, for a while, I had thought of becoming a neurologist. And who knew that years later, with my grandmother being the firstborn daughter, my mother being the firstborn daughter, then my daughter, Nijay, Angelise, that transition in December, that she would have something going on with her brain, that I would be able to work with her for 24 for whole years to be able to get specialists and neurologists to a place. And here it is. I don't have a degree in med like that to where I'm labeled a neurologist, but because of my experience at 15, going on 15 years old, seeing it in my grandmother, I wanted to know now, what is a brain disorder? What causes the brain to lock up? So you all, that's what I'm going to inspire you all to do on this Wellness Wednesday. Whatever's ailing you, your loved ones, and family, those who are dear to you, ask yourself sometime, are you the one? Are you the one that may be used, may be experiencing this, so that you could be the change that you want to see in the world? You ain't got to wait till your birthday. You ain't got to wait to finish school. I didn't have no knowledge of this. Nobody in my family was a doctor at the time. Nobody that I knew of was nurses. Of course, they worked in the health field at the time, but none of them knew this. And this the scripture that comes back to my mind, that his people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. So even though there may be an appointed time to life, this is what I'm learning in 48 years of my life, that even though there may be appointed time for each and every last one of us to be born and to pass on and to transition on, as we say, to die, it doesn't mean that it's not a lesson within that journey of life and health and wellness that we're not supposed to be learning about. And so, of course, naturally, I'm fascinated at this point to now, a couple of years later, by the time I make it to high school, then now I'm experiencing, and I couldn't warn you all, just for the record, because I saw her passing 2 weeks prior to and got up in the middle of the night. This is one of the things that I have ability to those who I care about sometimes, and others now. It's grown since then, where I saw her funeral. And my mother got up and she said, your grandmama's okay. What's the matter, honey? I said, well, I just saw her funeral. And I was like, oh my God. And so I'm like, why would that need to come to me? And nobody else had that experience but me. That's when you know you're chosen. It's not so much about it being that the universe is trying to put a burden on you. It's because it knows what you were created to do. You have a DNA code that's already lined up, that has your makeup in you. And what happens is that when we're not healthy, when we're not well, you can't figure it out. This is what's led me to become Dr. Chef without having to have a degree to become a neurologist. It's safe to say I've gone far past being educated for 12 years. No, I've been hands on dealing with our people. And so now let's take you back just a little bit before that. My God and my children's godfather, one of them was there too. My children's godfather, 6 years old, on his birthday. Family wanted to pull the plug. I used to have it posted up on my Facebook page. Sometimes it come up in the feed and you'll see me leaning over with him and he got the tubes in them and everything. But he had told me years ago, well, actually about a year prior to, who he trusted in his family. And he told me he knew he come from a large family. And I'm not going to say names because this is not about busting out anybody, just in case somebody catch it. I like to be mindful of how this is. I'm on the net. I'm on the worldwide net. So just in case it catches somebody, it's the only reason why I'm not going to give out names. That's unwise. And so he turns around and he says, one second. He turns around and he says, this is what I want you to do. When I go in for this back surgery, because he was a diabetic, he had high blood pressure, and what they called sugar back then, he still called it sugar. And he had several slip discs to the point to where he couldn't walk upstairs. And so he wanted me to become what they called his caregiver, because the caregiver that he had was stealing from him. He said, I know you got the background in taking care of people, Felicia. He used to call me Slim. He said, a Queen Slim. I know you got, look, I know I can trust you to take care of me. Can you? You wouldn't have to do much. And so I was allowed at that time to be able to get to a place to where I was standing right there next to him. And he was being like a grandfather figure to our children. And I'm telling you, when the time came and he told me 2 family members out of 10 siblings that he could only trust, those were the 2 that came for him. And he was the eldest too. He said, because the rest of them got life insurance policies on me. So that's another reason why you all need to make sure that you take care of your health and wellness. And I'm going to get off here. I just wanted to share these little testimonies with you. And so the two brothers that he said that will give me a call if he doesn't make it out of surgery, those are the 2 brothers that came. He's look, because they know me since I was a teapot, they just like, Felicia, we need you. You know, Big Bro said to come find you because he's in a coma. They ready to pull the plug on him on his birthday, y'all, because they're saying that he's brain dead. Go back to grandmama that made it to only 48, the stage in life that I am today. And it all came back like never before. And mind you, I'm still working with my daughter and what the neurologist is trying to tell me about her. And I'm rejecting all of it. I've already done taken her off of meds. I've already done everything that I could. I dived into every book, everything that I could to get her to a place and use the knowledge that I did have. But more so, I used the power of prayer to help just send all the information that I needed to be able to get her to a more healthier state. So when they say she wouldn't know the difference between day and night, the devil is a lie. Yes, she did. And now back to Pops. He said, no, that's a nickname. Back to him, that he's brain dead. What can you do? And I was like, oh God, at this point, I already went through the holistic realm, you all. And I'm still there, y'all. And I got the essential oils. I got here you go, y'all. Pay attention. Moringa seed. Powder form. Y'all, get you some of that in your life. If ever, hear me. Hey, I gotta put it out there before they stop us from being able to do it. Get you some moringa seed. Yes, I'm waiting for a shipment from out of Kenya. So if everything works out well, I'll be able to do that. And some things you all, I won't be able to share because I'm learning that it's a lot that we all can't share, because this is how, when you show your hand, I've learned that when you show your hand and where your goods come from, a lot of times things start to get blocked. Yeah, because you have a lot of entities that's out here that do not want to see our people get healed. Now, as of right now, you can find it. But who's to say that when they start realizing that there's a naturopath that's out here, or a health and wellness coach is saying, wait a minute, moringa seed, frankincense oil, essential oil, drop in the crown of the head, a couple of drops, peppermint oil, essential oil underneath the crown, the big toe, because that's what's connected to the head and the throat. And it helps to release and it takes and it breaks up clotting in the bloodstream. Did you hear me? So if he's brain dead, that means there's a clot, just like it was in my grandmother's back when I was 14 going on 15, just like it was in her brain. Remember, I asked God, show me how to fix this without having to go in to do surgery. At the time, I didn't even know that it was a natural way when my grandmother was laying there at 48 years young with an aneurysm. I didn't know. And I wasn't even born when my grandfather, Lindbergh Hill, that's where I get my maiden name from, Hill. I didn't know that because I wasn't even born yet, y'all. And so that's what I mean when it's in the DNA. You never know who's coming down that line. If you're the chosen one, you don't run from it, you embrace it. And so I'm sitting up here and I'm like, okay, I've learned enough now to be able to get him out of this coma. I never had gotten anybody else off the coma, out of a coma, you all. I've helped people that have been in a place to where they have been have not talked for 7 years straight, and the doctors and the nurses don't know why. And I've helped in cases like that. I've helped people to recover from cancer. If you say, well, why don't you post up all your people? Because that's their life, that's their privacy. You either believe it and achieve it or let it go. Everything is not about showboating. Prove it to me. No, you prove it to yourself. Ain't no way I'll put a claim out here and then wait for somebody else to say, no, it didn't happen. No, that's not going to happen. Because we living in this fictitious world now where anybody can make a claim and put a picture out there and say they did this, they accomplished this, they accomplished that. I don't like that. It is believable to the eyesight sometimes, but I don't like nothing coming back on me that I can't prove when there's other people involved. So I share the testimony, and then when the time comes, if it ever come up, then I'll bring up the people, the many that knew. And so therefore, I'm telling you now, this is what happened. Drops of frankincense oil, moringa seed inside of the feedings. And if you all want to know further, because you may have somebody that may be in your life that's experiencing this, then you need to call my 618-388-8100 number for me to be able to give, because that information of the how to use it, I cannot say that on this platform. And I said, give him, and prayed over him. And then I told him within the morning, he'll come through. His glucose level is already shot up to 283. Blood pressure already past 200. Systolic, diastolic off the chain. The colloidal shots that he had gotten had already paralyzed his back all the way up, and he was obese. He was more than overweight at 60 something years old, young brother. And I just remember that he had set it up and already had warned me and said, look, if I don't come out of this, and he did, you all, he came out of it, is what I'm saying. And so that's when I knew that it was meant for me to start my practice, to share the information that I had with others. And this came now right after that. I lost my dad. Didn't know that his bloodstream had been for years, had been he had experienced way too many chemicals and toxicity through the Monsanto plants company. And little did I know, it wasn't until years, maybe about a year later, my older uncle called me and said, hey, he got you down to go ahead and fight this. I said, oh gosh. And yes, we have the black and white proof that yes, he had the chemicals in his bloodstream, and that's what took my father out of here. And so and just the cares and stress of life. And so from those things, you all, I've learned that it's not good enough to be healthy. It's everything to have your mind healthy, to be able to have healthy thoughts. And this is the reason why you'll always hear me say, And the reason why too, I believe that helps you not to age either, meaning to where you look like whatever they claim 48 is supposed to be. Notice I said claim. This is why I believe. This is why, and it's not just a belief system, it's a faith. It's something that you believe in, that you put work into. That even though I birthed 4 children, you can't tell, because I'm in my so-called BMI, which it is overrated. Yeah, I said it. BMI is overrated because it's charts that are made based off of other people that don't share the same DNA of our bodies. And so your BMI should be just you being internally healthy, meaning that whether you go to a holistic doctor or so-called pharmaceutical one, that nobody can pull up anything on you that says that you have a chronic or a disease that is causing you, because I've learned different from so many others. Yes, those things sound fascinating. Everybody's not going to have a model body. I said it, just because that's what you lust after, and just because that's what we want to see, doesn't make it realistic for especially our melanated people. And now it's even other cultures, that's not where it's going to be for a lot of us. If you had a grandmama or great grandmama or mama and she was a hippie woman, yes, that 9 times 10, those genes, genetic genes of hips and curves is going to be there. You even see it with slender women that's curvaceous. I'm one. Everybody think because a lot of times I wear baggy clothes that I'm a curvaceous woman because my grandmothers were. Oh, well, she's only 110, so that means that her chest must be smaller. No, it's not. So you all have to take and use my job here on this birthday, on this Earth Day that I've been given, is to give back, is to share some knowledge, is to share a testimony. How did you make it? First, power prayer. Second, I always pray that Lord, don't allow me to be consumed by negativity. Yes, I will discuss it with who I feel like it's mature enough to be able to be discussed with, because sometimes I'm looking for some extra wisdom. I'm looking for an answer. And sometimes you want people to know you can channel or figure out who cares and who don't. You learn what position. In 48 years of this life, I've learned who to place in what positions of my life. I've learned that even if in your ignorancy or lack of knowledge that you make a poor decision, that's a big decision, that you don't wallow in that. You learn from that. And I mean learn from it. And so in a lot of ways, even though I'm at this age and stage in life, and some of you all probably know others or have experienced it yourself, I've learned that you can't get caught up in that number. You can't get caught up in that number, because see, people will throw you off. Well, you should know better because you this age. Not necessarily. That's just like saying that you should know everything that your liver needs, even though nobody never taught you. Come on now, y'all. That means that you should know how your teeth are, everything that you're supposed to do as a dentist, when you have no knowledge of what it takes to be an orthodontic. And that means you should know everything about your entire body because you at a certain age. Not if you don't study, not if you don't seek the knowledge. It's a lot that we all should know better. But because we wasn't raised in that type of environment for the most part, because some have been, but most of us have not been. And you know it because there is no way that in 2023, that something that has been around like fruits and vegetables and herbs that have been around forever, since before we were born, there is no way that all these thousands of years later that the world done gone round and round, that now all of a sudden we all can make money off of health products after telling somebody to eat their fruits and vegetables. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, I said it. I said it. I said it at a big conference. Oh, Dr. Hill, she's here. Oh, she's here. Oh, yeah. There she go. Oh, she's gonna break it down. Look at that energy. Look at that go. See, some people get off on that. And I do. I like the good love and the energy. That's all good. Y'all see me do it all the time. I know, right, Sister Sandra? But I'm like, come on, y'all. I'm born in a season where I got to see something grow. I got to see something that makes sense. That I have to see nature. I have to see that there's life and there's a beautiful life, that there is something that we're supposed to be living for. And I can't change that. That's my makeup. Nobody else in my family have talked like this that I've heard of. There may be some. But as of right now, I'm the chosen one in mine. You may be the chosen one in yours, or know someone who is. Embrace that, help them. So I'm telling you, I'm sitting here, I'm thinking, and after the clap, she's here, she's in the house, she's this, she's that. I said, y'all, I have to be honest with you all. I know we fascinated by each other when we see good people, because it's rare to come by. And when we find people that genuinely care, that have compassion. Remember, I told you compassion, not just passion. There is a difference. Because some people just like to be heard. And that's okay. If you have knowledge to share, you should be heard. Something good to help one another, then it's good. It should be shared. But I mean, some people are more caught up in being heard and making it look like they're being a leader, making it look like they're helping somebody, more so than their heart cares to do so. And the reason why I say more than the heart cares to do so is because of, y'all, I know it came back to me. If Pastor Bowie and them see this, and different leaders see this that didn't know that I dance, I used to do that. I had to shift a little bit. I came up in there. Okay, let's get back to the subject. If think about it, we're in a place now to where I'm like, this is cool. This is great. I love the energy. But come on, y'all. Should we really be having to have for something that's been here before us and that we've heard at some point in our life, even as children, eat your fruits and vegetables, eat your fruits and vegetables, eat your fruits and vegetables. Yeah, I'm finna challenge the mind. Eat your fruits and vegetables, eat your fruits and vegetables. That we should be paying for a conference to have somebody to have to tell you to eat your fruits and vegetables, to take your herbs. Really? This is where the chemicals and the drugs have taken over. Yes, I'm a certified drug counselor. This is how you know that in your environment that you have become a product of your environment. And I'm saying, y'all, it only takes one thought in your mind. It only takes one voice for you to take and say, okay, I believe what she's saying. I believe what he's saying. This is something that only I can change. I have to change my mind. I saw Sister Harris. I know she made it to my transformation. She put up her own transformation on her thing. And I tried to make a comment because a lot of times I can't be on because of all this activity I got going on. And I thank God for my health that I do have. And I'm sitting up here, I'm like, oh man, y'all, have we really? And you should have saw it, the whole room got quiet. These are so-called highly intelligent people with PhDs and doctorate degrees. Yeah, principals, different ones. And I wasn't trying to be funny. I was being real. I was like, y'all, how is it that we come to a time to where you got to call somebody to have a conference, that we have to pay at a door for somebody to tell us how to eat our fruits and vegetables? What have we allowed our environments to teach us? Now, thankfully, that's why I tell people, don't stress, because that's a trick too. Well, I gotta make it there because of the people everybody else doing. I gotta see somebody else do it. No, you do it. You be the light. You be the change that you want to be. Don't sit here and be banking on all this, because all this stuff is going to come to a halt, y'all. They got to make their quota. The very entities, the very spirits, the very demonic forces that has been placed here hundreds and hundreds of years ago, their children's children and the ones that they married are now in the place to where now they've changed over almost 90% of the seeds that are grown from the earth. And now I know that's why a lot of us get to a place on this Wilson's Wednesday where they said, well, I might as well just eat whatever, because it ain't nothing to eat. No, I had a guy that was a chef that I just met yesterday. Hey, you mind me asking what you do? Just out the blue. I said, well, I'm a holistic practitioner, naturopath. Can I simplify it for you? Health and wellness coach. He said, oh, okay. I was wondering because I'm back here with all this stuff and I've been doing this for 7 years. There's a brother. And he said, I've been doing this for 7 years and you just look like, you would probably, and now he could have been trying to, y'all, he could have been trying to, but it didn't matter. I answered his question. He said, where can I go to get good food, good fruit and stuff? Because see, I know everything. Now, this him. He worked here at the grocery store, this main grocery store, for 7 years. He said, and he back there as a chef, y'all, cooking with all that other junk food. He come from out of it and said, look, because it's closed down. But something in his DNA, something in his own said, hey, let me call her over here and ask her a question. He may have noticed me from commercials or something, who knows, and was just trying to figure out something, but it didn't matter. I answered it. And I told him, he said, where can I go to find? Because I know all of this in here, all this produce is fake. He said, I know it ain't none of this. I already done my homework. I said, okay, cool. I said, yeah, I understand. I said, you're right. He said, where can I go to get some real fruits of that? I said, you might want to have to go check out your Amish people. I said, we got a few of them around here. He said, what I do, just taking Google? I said, you're taking Google. You get to your farmers markets when we have them on the weekends, and you go there and you ask the farmers, and they're supposed to be honest enough to let you know that whether or not they're selling GMO or non-GMO foods. They will let you know. It's up to you to make that decision, though, when you see something that looks good, that looks like it's the original. That's not. That's the time that we living in, you all, where virtual reality is here. It's taking over the minds of our youth. The TV shows, just think about it. Y'all remember soap operas and things of that nature that's come out. Those things had an effect on visually, and what you saw on that television had an effect on how you operated in life, how you thought that real life went. You know it wasn't like that in your household. We know that wasn't real, but because in our fantasy minds, that's what we wanted. We acted it out. And so in our fantasy minds, we say, okay, well, at least I'm eating something healthy. You don't care about it whether or not it's homegrown or not. You don't care about if it's GMO or not. And I'm not saying to not eat if you had to choose between a McDevil burger and a apple that may not be GMO. I'm not saying that the McDevil burger would be better, because both of them are going to have chemicals. Matter of fact, last I checked, the McDevil burger will have far more chemicals that could damage the body over a period of time than the GMO apple. Yes, I said it. And if there's any scientists that want to prove me different, then that's fine. Bring them on. I might learn something. Educate me. That's the attitude that you all need to take, so that you're not stressing yourself out, getting thrown off of your regiments. That's the attitude that you need to take. If you're wrong about something, that's another thing that I've learned in the 48 years of my life. That's the one thing that you don't want to do. Don't get to a place to where your pride allows you to think that you can't be wrong about something. And that's another thing that I don't like about when we're on these platforms, because we know that this stuff is going to reach different ones at different times. And a lot of us, when we get these little titles, we don't want to be wrong. But at some point, you're going to be wrong about something, because things are changing. If nothing else, what I've learned in this 48 years of life, if I ain't learned nothing else, I've learned that in life, the one thing that is for sure is that a change will come. Stuff is changing right before our eyes. We're just not focusing and paying attention to it. As a tree grows, you can't see it grow, but if you put a video camera there and just watch it and record it for 24 hours, it actually grows. Look, centimeter by centimeter. Nature shows that. Watch the Nature Channel sometime, y'all. I used to, as a little child, and my mother was like, what you getting out of that? I'm like, I'm learning about nature. I'm learning about life. Because my other siblings weren't watching it. They'll watch it for a second, then they look at me like, yeah, big sis crazy. She really getting, no, I'm learning about nature. My father understood it because he did landscaping, and my uncles, and they did landscaping. They built homes and houses. So I stayed more around my uncles and my dads because they were into the earth more, so it seems like, than the women in my family. Yeah, go figure. It was just like that. Maybe because the men were more of the cultivators of the land. But my Uncle Frank, which, by the way, happy belated birthday to my Uncle Frank. May the 19th was his birthday. And my godfather, Bishop Albert Lee Petway. They're from the South, y'all. Y'all already know they make it do what it do. Beautiful husbands and fathers to their children, have done a wonderful work on so many levels. And these are the men that I was blessed to call father and uncle. And so I wanted to make sure that I acknowledge them. And for my mother, happy birthday, heavenly birthday to her. Her birthday was May the 11th. And then I have a host of cousins there. And to for some of you all that's on my social media, you guys see me post up my niece, Caitlin. She just graduated as well, too. And her birthday was yesterday. And so we'll be doing something together. Her thing is that, yeah, you know how it is with the DNA, you all. It's another thing about health and wellness. When you start getting healthier and your mind is thinking right, you get a chance to see just how powerful the things, the organs, and the things like DNA that's inside of us, how powerful it is. Because we often say that we should have switched children. With my brother that's under me, Elliot, he turns around and his children act more like me, and mine seem like they gravitate to more to like them. And so his two daughters look and it took on a lot of the same attributes as me. Mine did some too, but his seemed like they did more. Go figure. And so Kristen, she's actually in college now, in culinary arts school. And so Caitlin. And so then she just graduated last weekend. And so she's into fashion and design as well, like I was. Yes, I had the choice to go when I was their age and stage coming out of high school. I had the choice to accept a scholarship to go out to the ATL for fashion and design, because I had made this beautiful Vogue-like dress in school colors. And they was like, oh my God, we never seen nothing like this. And being a church girl wearing skirts every day, that was a big deal, because I'm like, they not gonna like this. I'm gonna look stupid. And now I did. They just went crazy over it. And so it's like, we want to get you to a scholarship because this is unique. We've never seen nobody make a dress like this. And so I turned that down, you all, though, because at that point I was already 2 years in and taking college courses in health occupation and certified nursing classes already. And I was learning. Mind you, it only had been at this point maybe about 4 or 5 years since my grandmother passed. That never left my mind. So I had to show it. Somebody said you could have did both. No, because sewing and creating things, as some of you all know, when you're artistic like that and your hands get to moving like that, it's time consuming. Your creative mind goes into the arts. Not right. So I said, no, I'll do that on the side. But I want to focus on the health and wellness. So I spent years doing nursing, nurses aid, home health care, health occupation, specialists, learning everything that I could. And I put the fashion and design on the back burner because, see, that's going to always be there. That wasn't making a good enough of a change for me. Maybe later on, now that I'm the empty nester with the children, I will get into sewing and things of that nature, some really nice pieces. But the most important thing is that can make a really great change in your life. Because we got a lot of people out here doing fashion and design, but we don't have enough of our people that's helping to heal one another. Because what's having a nice dress, y'all? What's getting all savvy and clean and looking good, and here it is, you sick? Yeah, that's a chemical in the brain. And yes, if you see that you fix up yourself really well, yes, it can help you, make you feel a little bit better, but it will not help heal the body. it will not help heal the mind. I dress up. People are saying, why you always dress up? I've been dressing up since I was a kid. I dress up because I encountered a lot of things that was negative growing up in East St. Louis, east of the St. Louis. Yes, even though my parents raised us up in the church, my aunties, uncle, and them, where we basically said we was raised up underneath the pew. We still was in an environment once we came out of our neighborhood. And sometimes within the neighborhood, we saw that, wait a minute, a drug addict here on this arm, a drunk on this side, somebody, a prostitute on this one, a colony up here. We still saw bits and pieces of what our parents was keeping us from. Now, thankfully, out of the 14 cousins, 7 girls and 7 boys that I had that I lived right next door to, and my siblings, thankfully, none of us, to my knowledge, had ever got caught up into that. We all went on to do something positive with our lives. We knew that we were blessed because we got a chance to see that. And I've shared that with you all. And that is another reason why could nobody tell me that drugs, prescription drugs, can help heal, because so many people was on prescription drugs then. And all I'm saying is nobody overcoming, nobody being healed until they start eating healthy foods. Even my own mother recovered from a stroke when I was 15. Right after her mother passed, that pressed on her. She was going back to college. She was doing a lot of things. The missionary in the church. And right as I'm watching my mother, I saw her face we just having a normal conversation. She wasn't arguing about nothing. And I watched, and I shared this once before, her mouth just crooked over. And she started, rah. And I said, Mama, I said, don't you feel that? I said, your face is turning. And so another devastating thing that I'm watching. My mother wouldn't have been no more than what? Probably about in her early 30s at that point. Because of the stress, you all. Stress is the number one killer. Don't let nobody tell you nothing different. It will take you out here. It's the reason why they call it the silent killer, because she didn't recognize that her face was turning. But I'm sitting here watching it. We're in the living room, and I'm looking, I'm like, and at this point, this was the first couple of years that my mother started putting on that excess amount of waste too, I noticed. We eating a Sunday church food now where fried chicken is a constant. The seasoning had MSG in it, y'all. The seasoning. Y'all remember Lori? I want to find Lori. I don't know about y'all, but I want to find out where Lori at work. What Lori be up to, because and that little girl on that salt box with no mineral and no iodine in it, I want to find her too. And little Debbie, I want to find her too. I want to know. See, coming up where we came up first, see, they all 3 of them would have got jumped on. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, we would finish them little girls off. Because they're taking out too many of our loved ones. So taking out too many of our people have offset with all that MSG, all that saturated fat and oils, just because it's sweet, just because it got a fake salt taste to it. I'm saying that to say that my mother and them was partaking in that, even though they were great cooks, even though they could feed the whole neighborhood and some more. They started to consuming too much of those things. And I remember my mom taking this in, I feel sicky at the stomach. This don't right. And she would go to the restroom sometime and she would disregard of it. I'll use the medical term, reverse peristalsis. For those of y'all, I'm like, what is that? Vermicking. I remember that. And I'm thinking, man, what's in the food to as good as she make it taste that's causing her such an upset stomach? What's in the food that every time I cycle, I'm feeling like somebody's stabbing me 20 times. And I'm like something needs to come out of there. So you all, my life has been designed to be, I had to encounter these things. I put two and two together in order to give me the compassion that you all hear today. Now, granted, 30 some years, so for some of y'all saying, man, well, that's young, Dr. Shelf, for your mother to pass at 62. But mind you, she was only close to 30 when she had the stroke right in front of my face. And we rushed her to the hospital. And at that time, I remember my mother coming back. Now, I'm going to tell you the regimen I remember. I remember her eating more salads and more fruits. Now, I would have known that was the key. But in my mind, yes, after taking little health classes in 6th, 7th grade, I saw, oh, okay, yeah, they are saying that an apple a day would keep the doctor away. And so I saw my mother through prayer and through eating fruits and more salad heal her body, and she started to lose weight. And slowly but surely, her mouth came back to normal. But at that point now, I'm going in. What it says, hey, Sister LaShawn. Oh, you broke your pinky toe. Oh, yeah. Okay, see, that's why I got to start looking, y'all. Now, Instagram is frozen up, so my apologies. You said you broke your pinky toe. Okay, now what you want to do with that pinky toe, Sister LaShawn, I can use powder and seeds, very powerful stuff. Sister Star had confirmed early on. My apologies to you all. I want to make sure that I'm seeing you all good. Because y'all finally got on, went ahead and start asking the questions. Thank you all so much. Hello, sister. It's a blessing to see you again. Hey there, Jay Hill. Yeah, it's good to see you too. Happy birthday. Yeah, Uncle Frank. Thanks, Candy. Amen. The pinky toe. Wrap that toe up. Get you some lavender. Some lavender essential oil through youngliving.com. I have learned everything through aromatherapy that I could through the books that they shared on there. Youngliving.com or .org. And I've shared it several times before. For that pinky toe, they have one called Pain Away. And if you can get your hand on the Valor, VALOR, it will help heal not just that pinky toe. And what you do, you just take 1 or 2 drops. Don't listen to the instructions. You all listen to me now. You melanated people, it's still activated. It only takes a little bit for us. For Caucasian people and others, it may take a little bit more. But where your melanation, your brown skin will activate a lot more faster, and cells and enzymes is thirsty for a healing. Once you put a very high ratio essential oil to it, that'll be the most simplest route to go, and and make sure that you're not eating any more high inflammation foods. This is where you do want to take advantage of the summertime, Sister LaShawn, and start eating more of your fruits and vegetations, making sure that you alleviate yeast and all that, because it will clog up those blood clots that'll slow down the healing of that toe, because I know that's no joke. Yeah, we don't know how significant that pinky toe is and how many nerves is actually going through there that causes great pain until it's broken. Yes, it matters. And so therefore, you want to get the lavender oil. You can use oregano. And what it does is it'll go in and it'll penetrate throughout the bloodstream where the clotting is at. And it'll seep into the blood and the bones, the marrow of the bones. And it will heal it faster. And I know this for a fact because I had a sister, an older woman, that in the wintertime, she broke her whole femur bone in 4 places of her feet. Her foot on ice, slipped on ice. And because she was already 60 plus, the doctor automatically told her, well, we're sorry, we've learned that the body don't really heal itself. The bones won't heal itself really past 50. The devil is a lie and ain't no truth in them. That's not true, y'all. That's not true. It may be for some of them, but it's not true for us. So I told her then, get the Valor, get the essential oils. They have a package deal. It is a little pricey, but you can get them separately, run anywhere about $20 to $30. And you get a little drop, and you take a little piece of the cotton ball and you drop it on there, and you get a Band-Aid. It's simple. And you wrap that around that pinky toe. If you got a little cast or whatever they have on there, you take that thing off, or you could sip it. Just make sure you seep it in there, and it'll penetrate deep, and it will start to heal those bones. It'll start healing those muscles. And then eating wise, you want to make sure that this is time when you want to get your watermelon game on. You want to get things, the fluids that can help that bloodstream flow properly and the minerals in the bones to be able to help penetrate. And then blackstrap molasses. Y'all go ahead and hit it with the blackstrap molasses. Get the Brewer kind, BRER. And a lot of you all, I've shared that with you all. That's something in the South that a lot of our people used to use back in the day. Strong bones help the mineral. It's loaded with the calcium, with the magnesium, and the sulfur that's in it that you have to use in order to be able to help heal the bones. Because what we've learned is that it's in the bones, you all. The minerals in the bones that helps us to stay healthy. That's linked to osteoporosis. That's linked to arthritis. That's linked to all of the things that's ailing you in your body. Anytime you break a toe, anytime you break a leg, the only way to celery juice, y'all, increase on your celery, sister LaShawn. Add that in as many dishes as you can. Take them and chop them up finely and put them up in a soup. You can make a celery soup. Season it up if you got to. Yeah, I just said it. If you got to, if you don't have high blood pressure and you're not constipated, get some free MSG herbs, a little bit of swig of lemon. Yeah, get your nice little celery soup going, or you can throw it into a green smoothie with an avocado and some celery. And if you just got to have a little sweet, you can use a date or a little bit of raw honey from your local area. Girl, get up in there and work that thing out. Y'all know how we do it. And then give me a call. Make sure that you give me a call, because that's another thing that I'm doing. I'm giving out free consultations on my birthday. Again, I'm almost done with the Mother's Day ones. I know that I got Sister Barksdale. I got different ones still left. Sister Eartha, I see you all. I'm going to be giving them out for the rest of the month. And yes, some of them may go into the 1st of June. And if you miss yours because of my schedule getting wacky and crazy, and it is, then rest assured, no, you can still get yours as long as you have text in to that 618-388 number 8100. For those of you all that want to send a cash app or give, some of you all already have it, then my cash app number is $ Dr. Chef, capital FANN Jordan still. And so therefore you all can give that way. I do appreciate it. Everything will go into the proceeds of what I have set aside for our health product line. And yes, I had to stop, you all. I couldn't produce certain things just based off of the many attacks that not many, but the few deceptive things that's taking place in my life right now. And I'm deliberately not focusing on that when I come on live, because I understand that unfortunately, anytime you're trying to do something good and great, you're going to always, unfortunately, have some type of adversary, some adversity that you have to fight for. So when I finally do get it, oh, y'all, it's on and Papa Locket. And I'm going to be so happy. So y'all, my hour is here. Sister Dorothy Barksdale, you look refreshing. Yes, and it's a miracle. And that's what I mean by you all. Let me tell you what I ate for the most part that was good. I went down to what we call a place called Soulard. Any of you all that have been here in St. Louis. And so like and share, that can be a birthday gift. Like and share, you all, so that different ones is wondering how Dr. Chef is doing. Then please send it to them so that they know that I'm here, and perfectly they'll be inspired. But then what happens is that what got me refreshed, that I believe that got me super refreshed this time, is this week I finally found the seeded watermelons here in St. Louis. If you guys are close in proximity, you don't got no seeded watermelons, then I say it's time to take a summer trip. Hey, it's time to take a summer trip, get you some seeded watermelons, but I'm sure y'all can find some somewhere in y'all area. But I stacked up on those watermelons. Do you hear me? I even gave a few of them away. Yeah, and I'm going back down. My birthday treat is as soon as I get off of here, you all, outside of the ones that I'm gonna have to do a couple of things with. Let me see. Yes, we need to health products line. Yes, yes, we're going to get it. I promise you we are. I found seeded watermelon at Walmart and Kroger's. Oh, wow, really? Where you at, you all? When you guys are finding your seeded fruits that may be good, then do share the area and the store. So thank you so much, Sister Cherry, for that. Thank you for the birthday wishes, you all. We thank you so much. I'm telling you what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to, as soon as we get off here, I have one of my aunties that's 60 plus, that even though this woman got screws in her neck from a car accident, I'm telling you, this is the type of motivation that I'm around, y'all. This woman can outwalk me. And I'm looking like, yeah. And I'm like, okay. So that's why I told y'all, get off the age thing. She got screws in her back. But see, look, at 60 plus, she been walking longer than me. She has found her whole rhythm. And I'm like, this is my motivation. So I'm walking. And then I saw two older women that were overweight. And they were out there walking. And we called ourselves slowing down a little bit. That this is like a week or two ago. And then here we are, we walking the trail, and they said, y'all gotta get up now. Come on now, walk out with some life now. And I was like, oh, yes, ma'am. And so you all look for that inspiration in your day-to-day life, especially on this Wellness Wednesday. Take this throughout the weekend. I just been eating watermelon. I've been juicing watermelon. I was going to juice one today, but I'm set to go for a walk this morning. And then I'm going to go to a beautiful place called the Botanical Garden. Some of y'all may know what it is. You look it up. A lot of people get married out there, but it's beautiful flowers. I'm going to take a few pictures and be thankful that I made it to C48. I'm just going to keep it simple. And then I'm going to come back probably a little later on, and I'm going to keep moving some things. Yeah, just doing my everyday thing, because it's just another day still too. So happy birthday. Congratulations to all the graduates. Anything that's positive that you all have accomplished. To all of the May babies. Y'all keep going. Y'all know what we've been born to do. And any of y'all that's off track, you all help them. Be a help one to another is what I was taught. Be a help one to another. Y'all love each other as much as you can, because you never know, because tomorrow's not promised. We always hear it all the time, but it's true. It's true. It's not promised. And so you all have to get to a place to where, once again, like I said, be the change that you want to see in this world. I chose to be the change that I want to be see in the world, because of this is what only I can do certain things. And that's the only time I can use the term I. But together, say again, as a scripture, there's a writing that says that a people that unite themselves together, is nothing that they cannot accomplish. Nothing. And so that's what my day is going to consist of. I will put my Cash App in. And so someone asked me to put in my Cash App information there. Let me like Michelle. And make sure I do that right. Yep. And so I'm looking forward to our product line. I understood that I had to get these distractions so that when I see it, y'all think I'm happy now. Wait till the products come and I can charge what I want, because what I know is reasonable for you all in a time like this. Y'all don't get caught up in the hype of and don't let people take advantage of you. Y'all don't let, because I'm hearing a lot. And my heart go out to some of you all that are on fixed incomes. I will have a package deal for that. I'm going to put this in now. I'm going to put in the number as well that you all can call in for your free consultation. I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to get off of here and just note that I love each and every one of you all. Thank you all so much for your encouraging words during my difficult time morning with my daughter. Some of you all have asked me what there's been a lot of people, more than enough people, just for the record, that I realized that have been asking me about receiving donations and things of that nature through the other website, through the Ministry of Wellness. I have to address it. No, you all, I have not received anything since January. So if you all, I have to put that out there on purpose, just in case someone is in. I have not received anything since January for outside of gifts, donations, cards, or anything. So if any of you all have sent condolence gifts, or wanted to give towards the foundation that I'm starting for my daughter, then I have not received anything. If you have not given it to me directly, I have not received it. So spread that word as well. And that's all I have to say concerning that, because I want you. And then if some of you all have sent something in emails and you're emailing the Dr. Shelf at the Ministry of Wellness Ministry, then that is no longer in use at all. And no, that was not of my doing. And but mine is Dr. Shelf, Felicia. No, Dr. Shelf Health and Wellness at gmail.com is mine. Or you can do health coach FEFE at gmail.com or ask coach FEFE at gmail.com. Yes, I have had someone that's trying to get into my Gmail accounts. And so that's the reason why you have the numbers. So you see how it is, you all. It's a lot of times we can't focus so much on the negatives. You got to find the positives to get around things, because there's a way to do so. And so that's why I want to make sure that you guys know and spread the word to anyone that is asking about it. Keep me and our family in prayer, because we need it. It's a lot more other changes that's going to wind up taking place. Remember what I said earlier: if nothing else is inevitable, change is. And so don't fret. I'm putting in the number that you all can text and leave a voice message there. If I haven't gotten back with a few of you all, please don't take it personal. Keep trying. You will be able to get a text through. It's just me this time for now, because I am going to have some assistants there. I have different ones that are volunteering that wants to be able to help out, to see me not give up on what it is that God has called me to do. Okay, I got it in there, y'all. Voila. There we go. If you guys look into the chat, zoom down, you all see. And that's for face, my new face product. It's simple, you all, because you all used to always ask about skin. I said, what did you use it for your face? How is it that what is it that you do to keep your skin right? I'm finna give it to y'all. Drum roll. Wally. Finna blow your mind. Alcohol. Alcohol. Pure water. Because the toxins in this, all out here in this area, yes, that alcohol gets you 100% cotton or white cotton towel. Put some alcohol, yeah, it can sing, yes, it smells. Cover you up, but pinch your nose. But alcohol, cleanse that so good. Oh, yeah. I use the white kind. Yes, it cleanses so good. Cleanse all up in the neck. And then I put the water, because I didn't want that seeping, that alcohol smell in my face. So I took the fresh water, whichever water you guys have. You can use the internal, you can use the still, and I splashed that water all on my face, and so it could penetrate and it cleaned out. So it's like an exfoliation. I was like, so I don't have to go get my facial, and within about 5 minutes or probably less, you'll see that skin tighten up. So I mean, the alcohol draws all that extra impurity and moisture and all that toxins in the air the same way it do with an open wound, but it stings. Alcohol. And then I took just a little bit, just like a little drink of organic coconut oil, or either sometimes I'll do just a little bit of shea butter. Gotta be careful. If you're gonna go out in the sun, I don't recommend you to do coconut oil, because it is a high velocity oil. It will fry up. It will sometimes make some people break out, because of if you're in the direct sun heat of it, the bacteria of it penetrates so that where it can start to bubble over if you have toxins in the skin, and it will show itself as like a rash. So just be careful. So that's when I say I'll use literally like a little sweet pea. When I take it and I wet my hands, I want just to add just a little moisture so that the alcohol don't dry off, and I just go like that, and voila, stick that hair up, put that stuff in the ball, and go about your business. I love you all. Y'all take care. And enjoy y'all's day. Here, anybody else that had to make birthdays that I don't know about, happy birthday to y'all. And y'all stay encouraged. Call in to the 1-800 number. There go my cash out for those who want to send. Anybody else that want to give any gifts or have any questions, then call into that number or via text me. I will be able to see it. My email, I will put that in there after this chat. But I got to get out of here, y'all, because my auntie that know how to outwalk me it's going to put me to the test, and I'm ready for it. Peace, love, good health. Happy Wednesday, you all. Y'all call now. I gotta get out of here now. I answered all the questions. Yeah, I did. Some of y'all understand out here, but my auntie gonna get me because I've been sitting up here telling her that we was gonna go for that walk. And then I had an appointment. Oh, let me see. If you're in Baltimore, you can find him on Park Heights on the north end. There we go, Sister Chip. Sister, start sharing that information, you guys. I'm not going anywhere. You all can tune out. I'm done with that teaching unless y'all got some other questions. I'm just gonna stay on here for a little bit and try, because I was gonna chime out of here, but then I saw the writings. Park Heights, y'all. She giving the information on where to get your watermelons. The Northern Parkway when they're in season. I'm just sharing because I know sometimes some of y'all be missing the chat. It may be too much in there for some of you all. I don't know what I'll do when he's no longer there. What you gonna do, Sister Star? If you're still there when he no longer there, you're gonna find somebody else. You're gonna look up in the neighborhood and somebody else gonna be doing it, and you can start saving your own seeds if you got even just a little bit of a garden. And go on YouTube and let him show you how you can grow your own watermelon if you're able to do that. If not, talk a friend or a family member that has a garden into letting them give you a piece, a little section to grow watermelons, because that's what's coming to you all, where we are going to have to start bartering with each other. Yeah, we're going right back around. History will be repeating itself, where we'll have to barter with each other. And so what I do recommend too, for a lot of you all, while we still do have heirloom seeds, I noticed when we looking up fruits and different things that's out of season, I've noticed that a lot of times the seeds will pop up. Order those seeds because you'll be able to barter with seeds. Look up how to store them and how to keep them cool. Get you a little container box that I decided it's worth it, you all. Store it for those of you all that can afford to do that, and you can swap out seeds for those who do garden. And be like, look, I got these seeds. Can if you can grow them, and I can get some of this watermelon or these melons or these cucumbers or this lettuce from you, then I can provide the seeds for you. That's an ideal for you. See what I mean by the mind is a terrible thing to waste. Yeah, start bartering with different ones. Be friend. This is when you want to be friend somebody. Oh, you just friended me because you want my fruits. You doggone Skippy. I'm a friend of you because I like that you thought enough of the earth and yourself to start growing some stuff. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You don't befriend somebody when they're mean or when they're a horrible person. You're not trying to befriend them. Everybody should have something that they're able to help each other out with. Y'all, come on now. I'm done, y'all. I'm just talking now. I'm just chit-chatting. This is my way of getting back to my auntie come on through. Yeah. Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that. You ain't taking advantage of them. You're willing to give them something else back. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah. Get the seeds and then find who plants and who garden and ask them will they plant it for you. That's the idea that came to mind for me. And honestly, I hadn't even really had thought about that because I know it's work. But that's the reason why you go around, ask different ones. Yeah, I'll start talking. Communicate. Commune. Start asking somebody that's in the produce area. Do you have a garden? Do you know anyone that have a garden? An organic garden that don't mind growing? Start networking. Some of y'all are on here on social media. Inbox each other. Hey, do you know somebody that got a garden in this particular area or within 30 minutes radius of this area? You'll be surprised the information come out because everybody's not online on purpose. I know because I was one that wasn't going to be. That's why I was called the Harriet Tubman of health and wellness. Because I didn't mind being cuffing my people up. And look. So who comes? Oh, so who came to your office today? None of your business. Yeah, I said it. Oh, I saw somebody coming in. Oh, good for you. I didn't mind because we're going back to that too. Y'all can tell everybody all your goods. Not all the time. If you know you're in a toxic place, you're in a place where certain entities have taken over. Get your goods because you're going to need it. Well, you can't grow that all year round. Dr. Chef, what about beans and rice? Get your beans and rice. I said it. Oh my God, can't believe Dr. Chef said there's mucus formers. Whatever. We're talking about surviving and thriving. That's your staple food. That's your dry food. Dry your fruits if you can. Get your prunes, your apricots, your apples. They turn into little chips. You can slice little apples when you find your real organic apple trees. You can slice some apples and dry them out, and they taste like good looks, depending on whether it's sweet or sour. They taste like little chips. They'll be a crunch for you. Yeah, do that. Well, what about oatmeal? You can make oatmeal bars. You can get a little bit of dates and get some organic non-GMO oats, and you can take and toast those and put them together and add whatever little walnuts and crumble up whatever you want. It ain't gotta be pretty, and it ain't gotta be fancy. And that's just for the record. That's one of the reasons why I couldn't do the cooking show. I knew right then and there that the adversary was going. Unfortunately, that's why I said, you guys know the difference between passion and compassion. There's always someone that's trying to stop and block, and they just don't care like that. And it's okay, because nothing is going to stop me from being able to give our people, you all, what you need. It may take some time, but all that's going to do is make my drive harder. It's just going to make me go harder. As they say, go hard or go home. And now, so just understand that that's not going to stop me. If anything, I'm just waiting for the moment when I get my goods and I get my stuff and I get that cooking show. Y'all, I am going to clown. Do you hear me? Yeah, I said it. I'm going to be clowning. Y'all going to be falling out. Y'all going to be taking notes, and y'all going to be laughing up a storm. Be like, I cannot believe Dr. Chef did that. Yes, I did. Yeah, I can't wait to get in there and be coming in there shooting. I get my little dance on, and then I'm sitting here and I'm showing y'all how to make up this stuff. Yes, I could have been doing some of it, but some of you all know why I couldn't do it in this kitchen. And I'll share that with you, because it's about us not using excuses to stop us from doing what we've been created to do. It's look, I don't care what's cut off from you. I don't care who your naysayers is. Use that. Use the naysayers as your motivation. Use those who think that just because somebody died in your life, that means you're going to lose your mind. Use that, reverse that curse, reverse that negative thinking. Only you have the power to do that for you in your life. So y'all gonna get me going back again. Y'all better go ahead when y'all stop talking, then that's when I know y'all go. I'm telling you. Don't let nobody sit there and I'm telling you what I know. And I guess it's hard not to say certain things because I know it's so many others that's dealing with some stuff, but everything in its due timing. And those of you all who have hung in there with me, that's been there, hey, Sister Simple, we planted collard greens and okras and tomatoes. All right now. All right, Sister Simple, how you do that? Oh, do you got some more seeds? Y'all want to share? Do share. What are you? Well, if you don't mind saying on social media or inboxing, do you take and barter? Do you all share your goods when because sometimes you get so much of a crop in and you can't eat it all or use it all for you and your family. Somebody else in your local area may need some, or you can go and find out how to package. You'll be surprised who'll be willing to pay to get in some good natural organic okra. And what does she have? She got the collard greens and she got the tomatoes. Make sure you take the seeds out of the tomatoes, you all. It has been found that a lot of times you have arthritis, gout, and things of that nature, that the seeds sometimes slip into the cracks of the collagen of the bones. Yeah, it's a whole lot that they're saying. So the best way to do that is, and then the lithium in the skin of it sometimes, but I'm still led to believe that's more so because of the GMO, the chemicals that's been sprayed, or if there's an organic form and one, if it's on a lower hill, an upper hill, plain, if there is organic forms and chemicals, when it rains, that chemical can trickle down to the organic forms. And so you do have to watch out for that. And this is where the power of your food, praying over your food, come into play too. The energy of what we say, love being placed into it, that matters as well. And then also moderation is the key as well too. When you notice that something just don't feel right, you know to slack off. Slack off. Some things are just common sense. Some things you don't have to have a regimen about because your body is the regimen. Your body will tell you when you're eating healthy foods and herbs. Your body gonna tell you. And yeah, sometimes it's gonna go through a growing pain to where it's the body is trying to learn how to digest it and trying to connect to it or trying to identify what you're putting in there. So always allow that 24 hours. As long as you're not feeling like you have to run off to the ER, then some things you just got to go through the process through in order for the body to be able to get used to it. It's the same as having a baby. And no, everybody hasn't had one, but you've heard that most women have labor pains. And does that mean that because you have a pain that you should just tell the doctor, no, leave me alone, let it stay in there? No, you go through the pain because you understand that it's pressing up against something and in order to give life. It's safe to say that even when the plants are growing, that it feels a certain type of pain. We wouldn't know because we're not a plant, but we see how it's protruding out the flower bud and it's all slow. There may be a painful process for it, but it has to go through it in order for it to grow. I just said something within there, y'all. It's not always, look, we all have a connection. For every living thing, there is a connection we all can live from. We all can learn from the process of change to grow up. And that's why I say I keep my thing. It's not so much about the science and astrologies and all that. It's so much more about the season and the time that you're growing in. And that's the reason why the melons are such a big deal during this season time, because that's the only time we can get them. So just because melons can only be truly produced mostly in this type of weather where there's more of sun, vitamin D from the sun and more rain, just because you produce healthier melons during this season, this time, it doesn't take away from the fact that, and I got a lot of people saying happy birthday. Hey there, Sister Angelique. It's good to see you. And so, yeah, it doesn't mean that you stop the process because you see that in the end, it's got something nourishing waiting for you and your body to help you feel good, happy, and well. And I'm telling you, when I found those watermelons, those seeded watermelons, I mean, I was like a happy camper. I wound up seeing somebody else that I knew, a sister I knew. She said, girl, you finna get all of mine. I said, yes, I am. You want one? And I did. She said, call me. I said, no, take the watermelon. I gave her a watermelon, gave her a big hug and a big kiss on the cheek. And I said, take the watermelon. Love you much. And so this is how we are supposed to be. And inside of those watermelons, you are supposed to take, thank you, Sister Lyca. Thank you, Sister Lyca. See, I get that. See, Mama Cherry done got me back to blowing kisses and stuff. And they're super sweet. But y'all, look, don't look. She can't get off the phone with throwing her kisses on the phone. I said, boy, she is a real sweet, true mama. Even though she doesn't have children, she make you just feel like you a little sweet little baby just willing to be cuddled again. I say, now that's a big deal for somebody like myself that's always had to baby somebody. I always had to care for somebody. So, we get used to being the one who caring for somebody. We don't get used to being the one to get pampered. So that's a hard thing sometimes, but I'm thankful for the balance. And so, yeah, you all get together, pair up, and then y'all share with me so I can share it on the platform of who's bartering, who's switching out, who's swapping. Yeah, I'm creating a village here, you all, because a lot of these, there are certain people that I am going to be able to pair up with, but that at the same time, we want to keep certain things between us. You know what I mean? Certain things, because we only have enough to go, not one person or one form can supply for everybody. We know what they've done with the land. Most of them have the land, and most of their land is GMO land that's made with chemical foods. And so unfortunately, we don't have enough. In North Carolina, I know it's popular for having North and South Carolina, all in the southern states, you all. We have a lot of our people. Some of you all might want to take a road trip and create a relationship with some of these farmers. And yes, the Amish people too, you all, they have not conformed to allowing GMOs to come through there, even though they can't fly over them and put it in some of their food. Still, a lot of them, they have their foods too. They have nets and greenhouses and things that can help preserve some of their food. And so I look forward to being able to share that part with you all. And I know that's the reason why I had to wait before I did this, because I kind of figured that even though, yes, I could have fought to keep this place, and yes, I mean fought to keep the place, still, I understand what distractions are. And even with having a big home, I'm not willing to allow a home or anything to distract me from being able to stay on our mission of what God has for me to do, to accomplish here, to help people, because we overcome by one another's testimonies. We overcome by knowing that we are alive and able to make it to one another, not necessarily for the car that you drive and the house that you're in. And that's where I've gotten to that place. That is a form of protection and shelter, but it's not the only form. And so that's the attitude and the mentality that I've chosen to take in the midst of the shift of anything that was meant to be evil towards me, that I'm a firm believer that it's going to work out for my good and for the good of you all and others, because you all understand the many different tests and trials in life that comes to make us stronger. And if you're stronger, you can last longer. That's what I want to say concerning that. I had to find seeded watermelon, Sister Seed. Yeah, get online, Sister Seed. Anybody in your area, inbox somebody, Sister Sybil, if you can, in that area that you're in. They are there. You just have to ask, and sometimes people will deliver. This is a time you are where you want to sacrifice that little travel money or whatever you put for your little stash to sacrifice to get that stuff to you all, because the body and the system needs it. Okay, it needs it. Just know that. Kingdom-minded woman. Oh, what you crying for? What's the matter? Or are you laughing? Kingdom-minded woman. I love that title. What's the matter? Tell me now. Look. You got the mama coming up. What's the matter? Let's just say my grandma said, "What's the matter, honey? What's going on?" Yeah, and so this is the time in my life now where I am. I'm just so thankful to see the stage, because my family, a lot of them, oh, let me put that leg down. I'm trying to show too much. All right now. And so I'm sure I'm still thinking back about how scared, the fear and the wondering that was taking place in throughout my side of my family, with my mom's side of the family, about if whether or not everybody would make it to 48. Isn't that something? You just never know what people go through in life. And I know some of you all have your own. I can't wait to write my book, my overcoming book, and how to strive and thrive. I can't wait for that. This is what I'll be doing, embracing the beautiful 50s. I'll be working on my books. I am taking I am taking speaking engagements. Yes, that was blocked in some ways on the past few years, and and it's all good, just as long as the opportunities they come around as needed. And so I am taking speaking engagements, just so everybody know, for inspirational talks, and to ask little panel questions or different ones for anyone that's interested. My goal will always be that where I never have to really lift up money or anything like that to go. Whoever is there that want to help, I'm a firm believer that they will. Um, I I just, yeah, and I know that's a popular thing for a lot of people to do, and so I'm just putting that out there. I do have another engagement come into June. I will be saving that for a little bit of surprise. Any of you all that are interested or want to come to the health vendorship that I will be participating in come the end of June, then just inbox me, ask me about it if you want to come meet me in person so we can fellowship and break some fruit or break bread and get some goodies on there. Just let me know. But I look forward to that. And that'll be one of my first that I'll be collaborating with another community that I am excited about. Is one of my clients that I've been working with. She has a heart condition. And so unfortunately, I have to conceal that because I got, there are some people, some that would try and take that opportunity away, and it's okay. What's meant to be will be. And I'm very confident in that because I know that God had my set appointed time for me to do things that He's always had in mind for me to do without any hindrance or without any setbacks or without any having to entertain spirits of jealousy, envy, or strife. I'm still a firm believer that teamwork makes the dream work. And so God knows how to give you another team anytime the first team or whatever you thought was going to be the team that was going to make things happen work for you. He knows how to do that for each and every one of us. It's not just meant for that to be for one somebody, because we have a whole world of people out here that need that help, that needs this support, and not one somebody can do that by themselves. Is one person to a million. Yes, these platforms have allowed us to be able to reach more people, but it has not allowed us to be able to help really connect in an internal way with more people because of the way it's set up. Now, that can happen anytime you connect through voice with people and do video. And I'll have that set up soon too, where we'll be doing the Zooms and things of that nature, because that is more personal. However, I do to have that desire to meet different ones as well, because that energy that is connected through transferring of connecting one to another is a powerful thing. And I mean connecting, not just looking, trying to see how many people want to come to see me. I want to be able to connect to the people. And some of you all learned that when we had the Thanksgiving. I came to each table, to each person that I could, to connect to you all in person, because that makes you know that I'm human too. And that makes me to know that, oh, that's for real, what you call it. It wasn't to put anybody on the spot, but it was so that you all could know that the importance of us actually embracing one another and feeling one another outside of putting up a cold front in front of it. Now, I know in some cases we can't do that because energy is real powerful. It's real as powerful, but that's for me to make sure that I exuberate that energy. I'm born and earth on this day represents energy. And so that's why you all always gonna see me doing this, doing that. If I ain't doing that, then you know that my mind must be in a place where I'm really taking in everything around me, and I'm processing. I'm processing, or I'm seeing something. That's the only time my energy is not working. Meaning, like, sit down? No, there will be no sit down today. Probably when I sit down, they'll probably give me a nice fresh salad there at the botanicals. That's probably be the only time I sit down today. And then I'll get up and I'll go back into work again in consultation tomorrow, and then Friday, and then I'll go into a strong prayer, overnight prayer with my brothers and sisters that I'll be having tomorrow night, and then Friday night, and then the Sabbath. This time, yes, I do have a 35-year anniversary of my god brother and sister, so I'm celebrating 35 years of marriage. And so shout out and congratulations to Arthur and Tanya. You all see this since we waited to the end. Most of y'all ain't gonna make it to this end because I done went further, but congratulations to them. 35 years. They work together like a team like none other. Y'all, this is what inspires me. They came and they was getting something that I had given to them, and then they both, 35 years later, 3 children later, and grandbabies, and they both just taking the stuff apart, and I'm watching them, and I'm like, man, look how they working together there. And I know that's what you all had loved, for those of y'all had coming, but that's never left me. That still won't leave me, because I know that the teamwork, the team working together is what makes the dream work. And I still have people in my life that I'm happy to see that they're able to succeed. And I know I haven't given up on that, because I understand that where 2 or 3 are gathered, you all understand. That's a saying for those of you all that don't believe, but you can get more accomplished. And especially, but only when you're of like-minded. They both had the like mind to take down an item that I was giving them for their anniversary together. and they stayed at it for 3 hours strong. And the one thing that my big bro said to me, Arthur Flash Johnson, he used to be a lightweight boxer, y'all, back in the 80s and the early 90s. And he actually stood in the gap for Muhammad Ali when he had first got his Parkinson's disease at the Olympics. He actually carried one of the torches as well. Well, he has a boxing youth match thing, a place down there in east of St. Louis, because they're born and raised there. And his heart, they have a heart of gold. They're good people. When I tell you, him and his wife Tanya is good people, they're good people. I want to send a congratulations and shout out to them for making it. They had been together since they were little kids. And I'll sit here watching them go in, doing what they're doing. And it's a joy to my whole soul. And these are the things, you all, that if you don't understand, that's healthy too. That's healthy. To be happy for someone else instead of choosing to be envious and jealous of people, because you never know, because they've gone through a lot too. You never know what it has taken for someone to get to where they are. And unless you're willing to go through all of the tests and trials that they've gone through, it's not fair to think that you should get their blessing. That's just like you, each and every one of us, we work our particular jobs, or you do what you do at home. How did it look somebody else come along and eating your food, taking your credit, living in your house that you paid for, that food you cooked and you bought, and then turn around and say, because I like it, I wanted it. So, oh well. No, you look at that person like they're crazy. It's like, you crazy, you look at mine. They're like, okay, you gonna pay these bills too? You gonna buy the grocery too? Ain't that what we tell some grown children? Some of us got grown children, come up in there and raid the refrigerator. I'm like, no, you didn't buy that. And so we have to think about things like that, you all, in life, and just know that that's healthy. Start, if you haven't been happy to see others have what you have, then start today. Start today. That's a healing in that. Even if you lost yours, that's a healing in that. Just to be happy for someone else when they are succeeding in something, that's a blessing. It brings about the dopamine of, like, it's no different than when you see a wedding and you see a beautiful bride and you love the dress and like, now you know that that's not yours. But in that moment of you sharing that moment with that person, the brain starts to think of other positive things. Keep it there, because you have the ability. They don't want you to think that. Don't flick the channel. Don't stroll to nothing else. Stay there. Challenge your mind to be happy for someone else, because you never know what storm coming next that they're going to have to go through. That they needed that happy moment. Say that to yourself. They need that. They needed that. They worked for that. And even if they didn't, that is none of your business. That's none of our business. That's all I got to say, y'all. And I'm going to get out here. I wind up doing practically 2 hours. I know they're going to give me like, oh, you did a whole 2 hours. Yep, I did a whole 2 hours, because that's what I felt led to do on my born day. I love you all, and you all take care. It's official. It's official. It's official. I am going to go ahead and get off of here, y'all, because I do. My auntie, she done called a couple of times, and I know she wondering, what is this woman finna do? I'm finna get out here, put on some t-shirts, and put on some walking pants, and we finna strut, y'all. That's what we finna do. I might tune back in the Instagram, since my Instagram had froze up, and just take you all on the journey with me, so y'all can see us get there, and y'all can see my auntie pass me up, and y'all like, oh my God. Oh my God. It's all good. Love you all. And you all take care. I look forward to hearing you all. Make sure that you all love you too, Sister Cherry. Make sure you all stroll through there and get the number. And that cash app is already there. If you all need anything else, then call, text into that 618 number. Some of you all have the 314 number as well. But nevertheless, just make sure that you call in. Be persistent, be precise, be healthy, be loving, be kind, and be well. And look forward to seeing you guys the next Motivational Monday. All right. I'm gonna break this up in parts too. So just so you all know, I'm gonna break it up in parts. So there'll be different parts of it.